Hey, we're live. I figured I might as well come in a few minutes early because everybody's here. I hate to miss the party. Oh, let's see who's here. Hello, Joey. Good to see you. And Joanne, hello, welcome. Ina is here from Queensland, Australia, and Donna's here from a raining North Carolina. We are not getting rain here. We are getting sunshine and honest to goodness, from one extreme to the other, it got up to 86 today. Never know what's going to happen in the UP. If you don't like the weather, wait a minute, it'll change. Ronnie's here from northeastern Arizona. Welcome, Ronnie, and my friend Linda. Enjoying a beautiful evening on the porch for a change. How nice. Carla's here from sunny Oklahoma. Kay from Brandon, Florida. Jean, hello from Mount Vernon, Washington. And Elizabeth is here from Birch Run, Michigan. And I have another voice being heard from right now. I didn't get ready for her tonight. Shame on me. That is all on me, right, Tippy? Right. Oh, Susan, welcome from Indiana. Good to see you. So very good to see everybody here. And considering how beautiful the weather is, I'm surprised we have so many here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I am going to put my links in here. And what you will notice, okay, Brenda says, I've never done any ruler work before, but I'm ready. She is from Southern Ontario. Well, Brenda, welcome. You have come to the right place, and there is so much that we can do to help you here. We're so glad you came in. Joyce is here from Fairfield, California. And Terry, hi. Are you back in the UP now? It should be about that time. Okay, so we're going to work tonight with 3 different templates. We're going to go ahead and put those in, and it's going to give me an error here in just a second because that's what it likes to do. And sure enough, it did. Here is the second template. And here is the third one. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and back up because I know I've missed a few comments. Alrighty. Okay. Well, Linda, my Michigander buddy, is here, and Cactus Deb from windy Glendale, Arizona. We're being told that we're going to get the winds tomorrow, Deb. Right now we have red flag warnings out. It is so dry and so warm that the fire danger is just way up there. I guess on the west end of the Upper Peninsula, they're already putting out forest fires. So if you think of it, please pray for the safety of the men and women on the front lines of that. Lisa from Sugarland, hi, welcome. And where else are we? Okay, wow. I've got a lot of links in here, don't I? Oh, Terry's gonna come back June 1st. Okay, well, that's good. It's getting closer anyway, right? Hi, Charlene. Charlene's here from Colorado. Welcome. What we've got tonight. Okay, we've got Starry Night 3. What I want you to know is that Starry Night 3 is pretty basic, right? It's pretty easy, right? It is. So I looked at Starry Night 3 and then I looked at Starry Night 4. And quite honestly, Starry Night 4 is pretty basic as well and pretty easy. So I thought about maybe putting the 2 of them together, but I came up with a different plan instead. Normally, when I stitch these out for you, I stitch them all in basically one size, one dimension. So what I thought I would do tonight, because this is a really easy one, is let's go ahead and stitch it out in 2 different sizes. Okay. I thought that might be kind of fun. So we'll get some ideas as to how to do it. And it came to me over the weekend while I was doing just regular spinifex and then using my connectors. And some of the blocks I was doing it on were like they were edge to edge, but they were different size blocks. And I just did the edge to edge within the block itself, not the whole quilt. So if I get a chance, I'll pull that out and show it to you. It's in the other room right now. Okay. Mary Ann is here from Maine. Welcome, Mary Ann. And Allison from Southwest Florida. I wondered, Allison, what the temperature is there if we beat you up here, because it's really warm up here today. Um, Debbie says the winds have been waxing and waning all day. Yeah, sadly, what the winds mean for us is that we're going to end up with more fires. Okay, let's take a look. So what I've got is I've got 3 different templates that we're going to work with tonight. Star 1. What star 1 take? It's really beat up, isn't it? We're going to work with star 6, and I hate to say it, but this bag isn't much better, and star 7. Okay. Now, star 6 and star 7 come in sets of 3. Star 1 comes in set of 4. Oh, Allison, 82 degrees there. Wow, we beat you. Beat you by 4 degrees. Can you believe that? That is crazy. Oh, okay. Joanne said it's 82 in southwest Kansas. And I think that's about where we're 82 right now, Joanne. Dee Dee, hi from Las Vegas. Good to see you. Allison says they've got a lot of rain too. We actually could use some of that rain. I'm hoping it comes. I just hope it doesn't come on Sunday because that's our great grandson's first birthday and the party is planned for outside. So, what I did was I chose for the small size, the Starry Nights 7, 1.5 inch, the Starry Night 7, 2 inch. I'm gonna put those right there. Then I've chosen the Starry Night 1, the 1 inch, and the 1.5 inch. I'll set those right there. And the Starry Night, whoops, wrong way. Starry Night 6, I've got the 1 inch and the 1.5 inch. And I'm going to set those right there. Then all we're going to do is we're going to come back and we're going to do the same design, but we're going to do it with larger templates and a larger space. Okay. I just thought that might be really helpful. And if it's not, please don't tell me. You'll hurt my feelings. Just kidding. Boy, did that sound sincere. Oh, that was bad. Hi, Lee. Oh, Nancy, good morning from Peterborough, South Australia. Oh, you're caravanning around the southern part of Australia. It must be getting cool there, isn't it, Nancy? I would think so, because it's winter for you folks, or fall right now, actually. Kathy is here from Divine, Texas. Welcome, Kathy. So good to see you. Goodness. Okay. What I'm going to do on this one is we're going to go ahead and we're going to start in the center. And this center is going to be my Starry Nights 7, and I'm going to use the biggest size. And what we're going to notice is that's right about in the middle of our block. So that's where we're going to set it, right in the middle of our block. All right, there we go. I want to set my foot height. Now, I'm going to want to come off either on this one or on this one. This one, I'm sorry, top or bottom. Let's go ahead and come off the bottom and go out and then come back and start at the top again. Well, if I'm going to do that, I don't want to start there now, do I? No. If I want to start at that bottom piece, we're going to start at the bottom right there. And then we're going to go around in one rotation. All righty, there we go. I'm going to get that down. Take our first stitch in place because we want to make sure that we've gotten that. Now, the other thing we want to make sure of is we want to make sure before we started stitching today that we clean the machine out. In my case, I need to oil my machine as well. And I have a little vacuum cleaner that I use to vacuum the lint out. And then I need to oil my machine, so I do that. And I change the needle. I just came off of the template here. I'm not going to worry about that. This is a practice piece. So I've got myself all set up for success, right? Now all I have to do now is pay attention to what I'm working on. With this particular design, Venus, it's a star, and it's a smaller star. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to keep my stitches just a little smaller, okay? And there we go. I'm going to get that out of the way. And what we're going to use next, just going to move this here so you can see it, and then I'll move it back. What we're going to use next is right here. I think this perfectly will work for that. And that is number C on our edge to edge connector 1. So let's go ahead and set it in here. Now on the edge connectors, you're going to want to make sure that you've got staple tape on both sides. I know that I always tell you if a template is symmetrical, you only need staple tape on one side. If it's asymmetrical, you want staple tape on both sides. So because this one will be flipping around a lot, is best to do that. What I like to do is I like to take that first stitch in place, start off nice and easy, and then go ahead and work my way up to the speed where I'm comfortable with. My speed is slow, okay? I just want you to be forewarned. That's my speed, slow. I'm not ashamed of it, not at all. I find for me, it helps me to navigate things easier. Okay, I am going to take my 1.5-inch star 1. We're going to go ahead and put that in here. We're going to start here, but we're going to end up on this one right here. I think you can see that okay. So we're starting here, ending here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in a clockwise direction so that when I come back, I will be going in the direction that I want it to be. And one thing I want you to look at too is the actual tilt or cant. I'm going to take that off. There we go. When we cant something, we tilt it. And I want to make sure that we've got that tilt on our machine the same as the tilt on the instructions. Now, is it positively, absolutely necessary we have it exactly the same? No, absolutely not. Um, we can make it different if we want. This is your choice. Remember, this is your design, is what we're going to end up with, right? Okay, Dee Dee says, if we have the original Starry Night kit, do we have all the various sizes you're using? I don't remember. Ah, good question, Dee Dee. No, you do not have all of the sizes. Okay. Please go through them. Because for example, the star, yes, you do have all the sizes. The star 7, you won't have all the sizes, and I don't believe in the star 6 you'll have all of them either. Let me take a look here. So the star 7, you would need to purchase the 1.5 and 2-inch. Now remember, this is if we're making both sizes the way I'm going to do them tonight. All right. The Starry Night Star 6, the 1.5 and 2.5 4-point star would be the ones that you would use. Remember also, Dee Dee, that you can use different stars. They don't have to be the stars that I'm showing you. This is just the way that the design was planned out for the embroidery. I think it looks better with the stars that they actually chose for the embroidery, but it's not the end of the world. It really isn't. Okay. But those would be the ones that you would need. And that would take care, that's really all there is. So that's not too bad. That's only 4 templates. So that's worth it because the templates individually are not all that expensive. Okay, Dee Dee, I hope that answers your question. I know it was a long way of getting around there. Hi, good morning, Lorraine. It's good to see you here from Queensland, Australia. I always love to have our Aussie friends with us. Rita, you as well. Good morning. Rita comes from Northern Victoria, Australia, and I'm so happy that you have joined us. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go in the clockwise direction. And remember when we get going around these points, we want to slow down so we don't fall off the cliff, as I say. You all know me well enough by now. You know that I am a slow stitcher, and I'm okay with that. If you like to stitch quickly, that's fine. We all have our personal preferences. And the personal preference that I choose may not work the same for you. So just remember, we're all allowed to go at our own speed. Okay, so this one, I love the way that these connections are put in here. So now we're going to come on the inside, okay? And this is going to be a pretty round connection. It's actually going to be very similar to the one we already put in, other than the fact that maybe it's a little rounder. And that may mean that we want to use our 2.5-inch simple circle to do that one. So let's go ahead and get that one out. Okay, I know it's right here. There it is. You know what? That's in pretty good shape for as often as I use it. Oh, now, I like to show you how to do things with templates that you have as well. Okay. The sampler set, the starter sampler set has just got so many really, really nice templates in. So what we're going to do, I'm going to turn you back. I hope you all are proud of me. I'm remembering to turn you back and forth tonight. Hi, Marcy. Good to see you. Okay, let's see. Lindia says, high winds and 82 in Lawton, Utah. Weird weather. She's sad. Well, that's no good, Lindia. We don't want you to be sad. She had left thumb joint replaced last Thursday and have a cast for about 6 weeks, no quilting. Lindia, I feel bad for you. Now I'm sad for you too. I just hope that you're not in pain and that you heal quickly. And this is a good time to catch up on all those videos you missed, right? I know that's what I'd be doing. I'd be laying in bed with a box of bonbons watching videos. Okay, no, I wouldn't be laying in bed with bonbons, but it's a nice idea. Carla said it's currently 81 in Oklahoma City. Well, hi, Deanna. Good to see you. Nice to have you here. Yeah, you know what? It wasn't that long ago, guys, when we were talking about below zero temperatures. My goodness. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this one, and I just want to show you a side view here. Um, because they show this, it's basically a half a circle. Okay. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring us out of our area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up halfway. Okay, up we go. Make sure my needle is down. Now I'm just going to come in and I'm just going to push it down a little tiny bit. And look at that. Isn't that awesome? Now we could do this too with our clamshell. Okay. And we would come to the top and then we would push our clamshell over. But this is pretty close. And this is something that we all have. Of course, we all have that clamshell too. All right. So here we are. The next one we're going to do is going to be this star right here. And that's going to be our star. Yeah, it's this one right here. It's going to be our star 6, and we're going to do the 1 inch. Now, this is a small little guy. It really is a small little guy. And we're going to turn it back over here for y'all because we want to make sure you can see. Ruth Ellen said she missed last week and has not had time to watch recordings. Well, Ruth Ellen, life does get in the way sometimes like that, doesn't it? Tough thing to do, but we have to be there. But I'm glad you're here this evening as well. Okay, so what's going to happen here is these two are going to be a little closer than it shows over there. But as I said, remember, it's not, oh, it's not the end of the world, but I'm stitching this wrong. So I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to pull that off. I'm going to make sure I got my, there we go. So what I did was I started this guy on the top instead of the side. And I'm showing you this is exactly, if this was a real quilt, not a practice square, this is exactly how I would fix it. I'm going to come in here like this, and then I would tie it off and bury that thread. But because this is a practice, sandwich, I'm just going to clip it off. Now I'm going to put my template back on, and I'm going to pull this back up and see if I can grab that thread. There we go. Got it. Now, I'm going to go ahead here. Now we're going to have it here, not here. You see where I started it on the top, it should have been on the side, and that's okay. And this way, I'm going counterclockwise for all of our American friends and Canadian friends, and I'm going anti-clockwise for all of our Australian friends. And for everybody, I'm going to go ahead and adjust that foot because it just cut loose on me. And as long as I'm here, we're going to get rid of that. So as well as trying to learn the time zones for you gals over in Australia, I'm trying to learn some of your words too, such as wadding instead of batting. I think it's like that in the UK as well. I think it's called wadding. Okay, now we're going to come up and around, and we're going to put that last star 7. And it's going to be the little one. It's going to be the 1.5 inch again. And it looks like our C is going to be the right guy. Now, when we do this one, we're going to nestle him in here. So I want to make sure that when I end, I'm going to be ending where I want my tip to be. And this right here is what I'm talking about. You see, I'm going to nestle that star in here, right here. I'm going to come up and across here to get my connector in. So I want to make sure that I don't go too far out because I've got my space already defined. But I want to make sure that I can snuggle that template in here. So it's going to want to come on this star point right here. And I'm going to put that star point pretty far up. So what I want to do, I want to take my spacing gauge and, by golly, that looks just about right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a marking pen and I'm going to mark where that star, right here, where that star is going to start. So I want to stitch right to that point. And I can use my spacing gauge to make sure that I get exactly where I want to be. And here we go. And we're going to stop right at that mark. Cute, huh? Now I'm going to go ahead and put this template in. And I can bring it up, but I like it this way better. It's going to snuggle right in there nicely. So I just need to do one rotation here. Remember to watch what you're doing. Take that hesitation stitch on those star points. I am loving this design. I'm going to come around here. We've only got one more cliff to get through. And there we go. Remember, practice. I'm not cutting any threads and burying them. We're just going to whack them off here. Okay. Well, at least I think we're gonna. I've got Deco Bob in the bobbin, so you know how light that is. Sometimes you just plain old can't see it. So here is half of our design. Let's get it over here. So what are you guys thinking so far? Okay. Oh, Pam's here from Maine. Hi, Pam. Good to see you. And Patty's here from Minnesota. All right. So let's go ahead and let's get the other half of this done. Do you want me to hit the links again for you? Oh, what? We'll do it just because we can. We got so much time tonight, it's not even funny. Okay, we're going to paste that. We're liking it, huh? Awesome. And then we're going to get, I have to look, guys. There it is. Go. And one more. And don't forget your deal day 20, you will get 20% off if you order those tonight. And it does not matter if you order just a single template or the whole set. And the other thing that I wanted to just remind you of, I did talk to Stacy last week, and she said she was going to use the deal day to work on the crosshair book as well. So I was real pleased that she said she would do that. Okay, let's go to this other side. The other side has got a lot more movement as far as how far we're going to go in it. So I'm not going to use my number C on this side because it's going to take me, well, you know what, guys? It's going to take me farther than I thought. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to elongate this portion. And we could do this pretty much on any one. Let's do this one just because we haven't used this one yet, okay? So I'm going to come out of here, coming out of the top, and I want to end up here, and that's going to be our star 7, and it will be, I'm sorry, star 6, and it will be the 1.5 inch that we're going to use that on. Okay, and put my toys away here so I don't lose them. So we're going to use the edge to edge connector too, and then what we're going to use is this area right here. All right, this isn't one of the cutout areas. This is just one of the edges. So let's go ahead and put ourselves right back in here. We'll pull that bobbin thread off. There we go. Let's set it back down here. Okay. So we really can go from one side to the other. But what I want to do is I want to show you how we can move this template to make it go further than it's already set up to go. We could do it on this side too. All right, so I'm going to take that first stitch in place. Remember now we're doing a curve, so I'm going to want to keep things a little on the small side as far as stitch length is concerned. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, you'll see, all I did was just turn it. That's it. That's all I have to do is just turn it a little bit. And what's cool about it, you cannot tell where it was turned. There is no sharp edges, no corners, no anything else. It's just turned. And I'm going to turn it just a little bit more and keep going. And that's exactly where I want to stop. Now look at that. That is so cool that we can do that because we can use that to make any size curve we want. Let me go ahead and get these threads out of here. Man, I really stitched those in, didn't I? Okay, there we go. All right. Nice long curve. Okay, next I said we were going to use, oh, my glasses are falling down, sliding down my face. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to come in on this star point and out on this star point. And let me show you where that is. Where my little diggermugger go? There we go. So we're going to come in. That's where we're at right now. And then we're going to come out on this side one. So let's go ahead and get ourselves realigned. So because I want to come in here and out here, what I really don't want to do is I don't want to have to back up into this area. So if I come all the way around in a clockwise direction, I will be going forward the whole time. And that's what I want to do. And this is the orientation that this one is in. Hesitate on those star points again. Remember to not take your hands off of your template until you have reached your destination. And that is it, right there. Kind of like being on a Ferris wheel ride, hands and feet inside the gondola at all times until they just perfectly stop. Okay, here we've got a star number 1 coming next. That's this little guy here. And you'll see that this has kind of got an odd shaped curve. If you've ever seen one, it looks kind of like a beer belly. I think our number C from our edge to edge connector 1 is going to be perfect for this guy. All right, and we want that bulbous area to be down at the bottom, but we don't really want this to come all the way down. We want this to come to about here, and this is where we're going to use the next template. So let's go ahead and turn this back. We're only going to use a part of this. Take that one stitch in space and nice, small, even stitches. And that's as far as we need to go. Love it. Okay, and this is going to be our little itsy bitsy 1-inch star. Awesome. When I first got these babies, I was nervous. I'm telling you, I was scared to death. I was never going to learn how to do these. And surprisingly, it took very little practice. but it did take some practice. And what I found that worked the best for me, and several of my students said the same things, taking these particular templates in a nice, relaxed, slow manner really helped to make sure that we were able to do them expertly. And there we go. We're going to go ahead and put our needle down there. We only have one more star to put in here, guys. And it's going to be our little itsy bitsy number 6, 1 inch. But we need to put a connector here first. Well, Miss Wanda Roll, good evening, my friend. How are you? It is so good to see you, even if it's online. Mona did what? I love it. Welcome, Mona. I won't tell anybody what you did unless it's illegal, I guess. Jen, how nice to see you. Well, you know what? You're not missing, you've only missed almost the first half. So we're doing pretty good here. Now, what we're going to do is just take a little bit of a loop down here. And I think for that, I'm going to use the star connector 2 again. I'm just going to go ahead and put it like this. Yeah, yeah, just like that. There we go. We don't need a whole lot on this guy. We're going to go like this. And I'm going to go ahead and put my star 6, my 1 inch in. We're going to orient it in this direction. Doesn't matter if you go clockwise or counterclockwise or anti-clockwise. Any wise you're more comfortable with, please use that one. And that is the last stitching of this design. I like it, guys. I really do. Now, this would make a great design if you're doing a small piece edge to edge, okay? Now, if you were doing a large piece edge to edge, you may say, I want bigger components because it makes life easier. And I'm in full agreement of that, okay? So let's take it how we're going to make things larger. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make my area larger. What I had here was a 9.5 by 5. Okay, I'm going to do on this one, you can tell all the windows are open, the dogs are barking. I'm still going to use the same area for my halfway mark here. Okay. But instead of being 5 inches tall, let's go 6 inches tall. And instead of being 9.5 inches wide, I gotta see, okay, 6.5, that's 13. Let's go 13 inches wide. That's 6.5 there and 6.5 here. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and finish the rectangle. And it doesn't matter if these edges go over each other. This is a practice square, remember. This is where we learn to perfect our skills before we take them to the piece of fabric and batting and thread that we have poured our heart and soul into. And if you're like me, a few tears and probably a drop or two of blood as well. Uh, I am really a klutz. Wanda, you don't need to agree. Oh, Susanna's here. Oh, well, you're right, Suzanne. I like that what she says. She thought the same thing with the stars. But with the Starry Night quilt, we got good at using them. You're absolutely right. And once you're good at using them, you want to use them on everything. Lee, I'm glad you're here. Even if you are late, that's fine. We'll take you any way we can get you. Okay. So I said, how? Okay, this is 6 inches. So we're going to do 3 inches to our halfway point. Now, somebody is out there thinking this. I'm just going to say it. So you don't have to worry about wondering if it's a smart thing to say or not. Because I do, I worry about those things myself. Um, what? I just forgot. I just really did. It's okay if it's not the same ratio, all right? It really is. Because we're going to be using this, remember, on a larger quilt. Actually, we've got room. Let's go up another inch here. All right. And we're going to have extra lines on here, but that's okay. And that means we need a half of an inch here. So I'm just going to take that one off, mostly. And this one off, mostly. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so here's our center. So when we did the first one, let me get this out of here. What we did is we used Starry Night 7, 2 inch, and 1.5 inch. So I'm going to go to my Starry Night 7 packet, and I have a 2.5 inch. So what I'm going to use, I'm going to put my 1.5 inch away. I'm going to use my 2 inch and my 2.5 inch Starry Night 7. And for Starry Night 6, I have a 1 inch and a 1.5 inch. So I'm going to go to my bag, and in here I have a 2.5 inch and a 2 inch, and I'm going to use those two. And I'm going to put these two away. And if you would ask my husband, do I really do things like this? You know what he's going to tell me? Tell you, Wanda, what would you tell them if they ask if I really do things like this? Oh, Barbara, I'm using what's called a ceramic pencil. It's a mechanical pencil with compressed chalk in it. And what's nice about it is it makes a nice, smooth, small line that erases beautifully. So, anyway, yes, I do things like this. this in this way. Let me tell you why. I get I get discombobulated easily. Wanda says, "Yep, she does things like that." I do, because I do get mixed up real easily. Okay, so Starry Night 1, we use the 1" and the 1.5" and I have a 2 and a 2.5" in here. So we're going to use the 2, 2.5" and I'm going to put the 1 and the 1.5" away. See? Now I don't have to worry. I'm not discombobulated. I'm going to turn this way. Here is our center line. Again, we're going to use the same templates in the same order. They're just going to be a different size, okay? So for the first one, I want my star 7, right? Yep, star 7, and I want it in the center in this orientation. It doesn't have to be real canted a lot, just a little bit. Now we will start and end here because we'll move in the same direction that we did the last time. And that means I'm going to pull up my bobbin thread here. I want to make sure, okay, yeah, you guys got a good view of it here. Put that down, put that needle down. Keep my 1 stitch in place. I always say 1 stitch, it always ends up being more than 1 stitch. Put my needle down because I'm going to remove my hands from my template. And whenever I move my hands from my template, I want to make sure that my needle is down so that nothing moves. Okay, here we go. Nice. Sometimes I'm not really sure what I like doing better, small templates or a little larger templates. I think it has to do with the shape. Because with this particular star, I really like the bigger one better. I think with the small one, every little wobble is going to show. Although I wobbled on this one too. Okay, and down to the bottom. And we're going to take that out. Now we're going to do this. I'll show you. We're going to do this connector here. And like we did last time, we're going to use the connector C again. And how far out do we want it? That's a good question. So what we can do, remember what we did last time. We can come here and we can move it a little bit. If we want it longer, we would be better off using one of these, okay? This one we can move so that it goes up a little higher when we get off the beaten track a little ways. So here we go. We're going to bring it down and around. I'm going to stop right here. This is where I want it to come up a little higher. So to have that happen, I'm just going to simply slide it a little ways here. It doesn't need to come up real high. But what's awesome about that, and I'm going to tell you guys, it took me a while to figure this out. You can't tell where I moved it. And that to me is just so cool. I love that. I think that's totally awesome. So, yeah, now I try to find places to put it because I know how to do that. Okay, so now we're gonna come with star number 1, and we want the larger one. So this is going to be the 2.5 inch. Need to put this guy back where he belongs. And that's gonna be this guy right here. Okay? 1, 2, 3. No, it's not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a 5-pointed star. I used the wrong star, you guys. Oh, well, we'll go ahead and finish with the wrong star, I guess, okay? But I thought for sure it was the star 1. Okay. Are you all right with that? Yes, Wanda, I do squirrel. I'm really bad at squirreling. Should I tell them why? I actually was born on National Squirrel Day, and there is such a thing as that. So, yeah, I squirrel. Um, and says the more she sees the Starry Night stars, the more she's beginning to think, "Ooh, I like that. I should never have tuned in tonight." Oh, it makes it so fun though, Jan. So, so fun. Barbara, I love this question. Do I have a stitch regulator or just practice moving slowly? Let me show you my stitch regulator right here. These are my stitch regulators. I strongly and firmly believe in using your hands to be your stitch regulator. Because once you start doing the templates, Barbara, you're going to know how you want to stitch. And you're going to come to the right speed that works for you. I am a slow stitcher, and all these ladies here will tell you that I stitch slow. But you need to stitch at a speed that's comfortable for you. The only way you're going to find that is by practicing it. I hope that answers the question you have for me, Barbara. Um, okay, Suzanne said, "It's just practice, and we might like it with this star." You know what, Suzanne? You're absolutely right, and it is practice. And I don't know how I picked up the wrong star, but I did. I'm okay with that. I make mistakes. I admit that. Actually, Wanda will tell you, I'm the first one to admit when I make a mistake. Okay, so we're going to come out here. So we're going to come out here, and then we're going to end here. So I'm going to go around in a clockwise manner. Okay. I do like making my stitches a little smaller on the stars and the moons and the eclipses and the star tails. And the reason why I like doing it on all of the other templates except the stars is because they're curves. They all have curves in them. And curves just look more professional when you do smaller stitches. And now I'm not talking micro stitching, okay? Um, when we sew, our machines can only do one thing, and that is stitch a straight line, whether it's forwards, whether it's backwards, whether it's to the left or to the right. They can only stitch a straight line. Mine is a vintage machine, and so it only sews straight forward and straight backwards. That's it. That's all it can do. So anything else that it does, I have to be the one um, to make it do that. So if we want a nice curve, we need to have those stitches smaller so that they appear seamless. Okay, hopefully that'll help kind of answer another question too. Okay, so now we're going to come up here. Now remember on the last one we used our simple circle. This one I want to show you using the clamshells. Wanda's favorite clamshell. Well, Kathy, hi. Oh, it's so good to have you here. It's okay. Okay. Now, Rosanna said last week when she was in Nevada, she was hoping to see the Starry Night, but they were all cloudy nights. Yeah, I hate it when that happens. We don't see many stars at night in Northern Virginia. There's too many lights. And you know what? That's one of the things I like about here. We could go out, not too far out, and we can see the stars. And when we used to take the kids camping, that was one of our favorite things to do is lay on the ground and watch the stars, catch a shooting star every once in a while, and of course, be able to see the satellites going across the sky. Okay, Dawn says no one would notice the mistake unless to point it out, and that's a good thing. Dawn, you're exactly right. And I know you guys have heard me say this once, you've heard me say it 100 times. If someone walks up to your quilt and points out a mistake or an error you make, you just tell them back away. Back away slowly, get away from my quilt. Okay? And that's all you have to say about that. Okay, so here we go. This time I'm going to go ahead and I am going to um, use my clamshell. But this time, like last time, I wanted when I used my 2-inch simple circle, I wanted to elongate it. Because this is a 3-inch circle, I actually want to shorten it up. So let me show you how we're going to do that. And we're going to come right about here. And we're going to take it nice and easy. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put my needle down. Now I'm going to move my clamshell over. And I'm going to go ahead and stop right about there. You cannot tell that I shortened that clamshell up. Isn't that cool? Okay. Jan says she was told that your message was too long. I didn't know we had limits on our messages here, Jan. I really didn't. Okay, so next we're going to take our 2-inch star 6. We're going to put him in here. We're actually, you know what? Because I've chosen the larger sizes, and this can happen to you, so I want you to be aware of it. We actually, by going here, are going to come dangerously close to the outside perimeter. But let's go ahead and do it. And this is the leg of the star or the star point that we're expected to start on. So instead of ending on that top star point, we're going to go ahead and end on the same point that we started on. Right there. And now we have fit in here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to make our connection, and we're going to put in our next star. And I'm going to I want to come up. I'm going to do it this way. Then when I get up, I'm going to go ahead and twist it on down. Okay. So we're going to start in this direction. Okay. I'm going to start twisting it down a little at a time. Just a little at a time. And then there we go. And we're going to stop right there. Nice. Isn't that cool? I think that's the coolest thing. Okay, now we're going to get this guy right here, star 7. Right? Yep. And again, I'm going to have to alter this because I'm using longer or bigger templates. So I need to alter just a little bit. I still want it to come in and snug into here. Okay, so that's how I'm going to do it. Come around, being real careful not to fall off of those cliffs there. Just a couple more. We're almost home free, guys. Two more points and we're home. And there we go. Well, come on. I need my little scissors and it's not cooperating. There we go. Ooh, okay. So we have got this half of it, which is basically the same as this half. And what you see is we've given ourselves that's a whole lot more area that we've covered here. And I'm not going to make you sit and go through the rest of it. I know you guys get the idea of what we're doing here because you guys are smart. Okay. So there we go. Miniature and supersized. Okay. So what do you think of that? You think we did good? Okay. Mona did what? I still would like to know what Mona did. Oh, you guys are funny. I love it. Go that way. There we go. So, do we have any questions? Oh, thank you, Lee. Lee likes it. She thinks it looks great. Well, Suzanne, you are so welcome. You know, I love coming here. I love doing this 3 times a week. And I want you all to be watching. Thank you, Linda and Linda, because I have got I'm in the process of finalizing some ideas or some instructions, I should say, for a new Zoom class. So I would say you can look at that coming out by the end of the month. Mona, I love it. Mona says she will never tell. Oh, can we guess? No, just teasing you. Oh, I love this. You've got a great sense of humor. I love that. So the new Zoom class, it will be maybe a little more involved than the last one was. Thank you, Wanda. And but it's going to be it's gonna be a cool one because, Wanda, there's no piecing in it, or very little piecing, let's say that, okay? Yeah, definitely gonna be another one of my designs, so everybody could go screaming in the other direction now, right? Oh, no, I'm really gonna be happy to get it done and, to be able to get us back together. I miss that. I miss that. If you have any days, it seems like Tuesday seems to be a great day for everybody, so we'll try and stick with the Tuesdays as well. So, tonight we did the Starry Night 3. We used stars 1, 6, and 7. Tomorrow night, we're going to use Leonie's selection. And the cool thing about tomorrow night's selection of templates is that you can actually make a scene with them, which I think is really pretty doggone cool. I think it's great. And then Wednesday, we're going to do Spinifex 12. And I am still working on, yes, Barbara, the Starry Night templates are awesome. I think everybody should have them personally. Still working on the Spinifex book. It's taking longer than I thought it would take, but it's okay because I'm learning an awful lot about writing a book, which I've never done before. So who knew? Oh, anyway, um, that's what we have for this week. And I do believe on the 14th, we have Melissa doing the bird project. So you'll want to watch for that as well. And yeah, that's all. Yeah, Lee, I know. Book. I have a hard time writing my name, much less reading a book. But it's doing things that I enjoy doing, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, Stacy will wanna do it. Marianne, you are so welcome, and I'm so glad that you came in tonight. I appreciate everyone who's here. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. That, is supposed to be a good thing for us. I'm not really sure how, but it is. And definitely feel free to get a hold of me if you want. If you go to sosay.com, um, go under instructors, you'll see me there, and all of my contact information is there. So please, if you have some questions or just have some concerns about something, please let me know. I'll try and help you out with it the best that I can. And granddaughter's track meets took over your time, Lee. Well, you know what? Those are priority. Definitely. Definitely. Grandkids and great grandkids are always priority, right? So until we meet again, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night, let's go out